Jai Shriman Narayan. Jai Shriman Narayan. Jai Shriman Narayan. I pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Srimad Jagadguru Sudarshan Acharyaji Maharaj. I pay my obeisances to Lord Sri Ramanuj. I pay my obeisances to our Purva Acharyas. I pay my obeisances to our 12 Alvars. I pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi. And I pay my obeisances to Lord Sriman Narayan. I welcome all of you here physically at the Sri Narayan Dham in Durban, South Africa. I welcome those that's watching this discourse locally, nationally, and internationally. And I welcome in advance those that's going to be watching this discourse when it is posted on YouTube and the various groups from around the world subsequently. We pursue our topic on oneness, but before we go there, sometimes on this journey and the vehicle that we are traveling, one of the wheels come loose and we have to stop, fix and proceed. In the main, Sanatan Dharma is built on two living principles: karma and reincarnation. Sanatan Dharma, which is the personification of this entire universe, is built on two living principles: karma and reincarnation. Life in these universes are cyclic, which means there's a cycle in which these universes exist. When this universe is non-existent, then all living entities and all material entities in their subtle form exist within the Supreme Lord Himself. Impelled by karma of the living entities, these universes come into being again. Each living entity that is within the Supreme Lord during dissolution has a quantum of karma, That karma, together with the three modes of nature inherent in this material world, three modes of nature guide every living entity, and that is Satagun, Rajagun and Tamagun. So in proportion to your karma, this universe is created and permutated with the three modes of nature. So if you have a certain type of karma, you will have an impelling force, impelling your mind, either in Satagun, Rajagun or Tamagun. These three modes are fluctuating modes. So all of you seated here today in this satsang, currently you are impelled by Satagun. You are impelled by Satagun. Then, as soon as you drive out of the satsang and state that the Guru was talking bull, your mind will go into Rajagun. And when you go home, you say, I'm not going to follow any of this Guru's stupid instructions. Then you go into Tamagun. One person, 3 impulsions of the mind with the 3 gunas. Nobody can escape these 3 gunas, and nobody can escape their karmas. Karmas is inescapable. Living within the gunas is inescapable. So, everyone by diagnosis is tripolar. More than the wife person. Wife is bipolar. Everyone else is tripolar. One more polarity. All right? So, when the Guru views you, when you come under the guardianship of a bona fide spiritual master, he has the capacity to find you in your domain that you are vibrating in. So he finds you with your computed karma that is computed in your third body, which is the mind, which you carry from life to life, and your current status quo, your current vibration. So, these vibrations don't make you a bad or a good person. You are just a puppet in the 3 gunas. You are a puppet in the 3 gunas. You can change your mind and vibrate in the right guna. You have the capacity to change your mind and vibrate in the right guna. It is your prerogative. The Guru can give you the materials and the Guru can give you the tools. Generally, if there's some mechanics in the house, we have 99.999999999% of blown head gaskets. Guru can supply a new head gasket and new bolts for torque. New bolts for torque, but you have to change your own head gaskets and you have to torque your own head gaskets. Look at how beautiful God is. He gives you the space for free. You just have to fix yourself. Isn't God fair and neutral? And this space is available 24/7. But you have to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined. You have to admit to yourself that I have a blown head gasket. You have to admit to yourself, I have a blown head gasket. Some head gaskets are more blown than others. So if your head gasket just have a pinhole crack, even then you have to admit that I have a blown head gasket. So this material universe is basically created for every living entity that has a blown head gasket, which ultimately means that if you are alive in this universe, you are here because of a blown head gasket. Across the board, whether you're in the ashram, whether you're in a mosque, whether you're in a church, wherever you are, the gasket is blown. When you fix the head gasket, you go back to God. When you fix the head gasket, you go back to God. The job of the Guru is to give you all the tools, firstly to provide you with the knowledge that gasket is blown. Then how to remedy that. That is the job of a Guru. Guru is like a policeman directing you to God. That is all the function of a Guru. Like a policeman at a stop street, stopping you and telling you, God this way, demon this way. It's up to you which way you want to go. So, we live in seasons. There are 4 seasons that this cosmos exists in. It's called Satagun or Satyug, Treta Yug, Dwapara Yug and Kali Yuga. Currently we are existing in Kali Yuga. In Satyug, if you want the Supreme Lord, you meditate, because the lifespan is 100,000 years, you have time to meditate. In this Kali Yuga, it is impossible to meditate even for 1 second. Impossible to meditate for even 1 second. In Treta Yuga, lifespan is 10,000 years. Method to reach God is through gorgeous sacrifices and ceremonies and rituals. Lifespan is 10,000 years. In Dwapara Yuga, method to reach God is deity worship in the temple. Lifespan is 1,000 years. In Kali Yuga, method to reach the Supreme Lord is Sankirtana Yajna. That is going to mosque, going to church, coming to satsang and learning about the Supreme Lord, His glories, and singing about His glories. That is all. So in Satyug, the divine and the demon lived separately. In Treta Yuga, the divine and the demon started living in the same dimension. In Dwapara Yuga, the divine and the demon started living within the same family. In Kali Yuga, the divine and the demon is living in the same person. Same person. You understand? So 1 minute you can be divine, the next minute you can be demonic. All right? This answers some questions to some people. You get in your answers. All right? So this is absolute science. This is supreme science. This answers all your questions. So if you are living and your neighbor is a demonic person and you are doing all the righteous thing and your neighbor is doing all the wrong things, you are not winning in this world, but your neighbor is winning in this world, then it means you have no answers unless you come into this science that I'm teaching you. So when you come into the science that I'm teaching you and you find that you cannot understand why your neighbor who is demonic is progressive and you who are divine, you are not progressive, then that statement that I made earlier on, karma and reincarnation. That neighbor who is demonic in this lifetime was divine in his last lifetime and is reaping the merits of his previous lifetime, notwithstanding the fact that he is demonic in this lifetime. Do you understand? Is that an exact answer? Is it a scientific answer? Yes. So you don't have to go crazy thinking how that person is successful. The answer is already there. Simply, he was a divine personality who earned that opulence which is enjoying in this current life. And however you behave and perform in this current life, this is what you're going to experience in your next lifetime. So this is a cycle. You witnessed it. You witnessed death. Have you witnessed birth? You are the witness. Have you noticed that everything exists in a cycle? If you plant a marigold by seed, it will turn into a tree, then it will turn into a flower, then it will turn into a seed again. And then when you plant that seed, this cycle is continuous until the universe dissolves. The cycle is continuous until the universe dissolves. Yes or no? Are you not experienced? You don't have to be a scientist, but just common sense and observation. Are you not noticing this? All right. So then the Guru also needs to teach you how to live in this universe. Sanatan Dharma is also a connection between all living entities. Sanatan Dharma is a direct connection between all living entities. How many of you witnessed planet Earth during lockdown? How many of you saw on news planet Earth during lockdown? Whilst we humans were locked like animals, how we lock animals, whilst we humans were in that lockdown, how beautiful nature started transforming itself. We saw strange animals on the beachfront. We never knew they lived around. We saw animals. We saw the Ganges turn absolutely clean. We saw other rivers turn blue. And there was so much of peace whilst we were imprisoned in our houses. Did you feel that peace and serenity when we were witnessing these scenes? So who is the problem on planet Earth? Animals or human? Humans. So humans are the problem, and we were so fortunate. We were so fortunate that we scientifically experienced this. Yes or no? Tell me which other generation saw planet Earth vacant from humans. Look at how fortunate we were to observe this discovery and draw a conclusion on our own. The Guru is not giving you things from the books. This is our own experience. Yes or no? Yes. So it is a job of the Guru to teach humans how to connect with nature. Dana? It is a job of Guru to teach humans. Who? Humans how to connect with animals, how to connect with plants, how to connect with insects, how to connect with birds, reptiles. It is a job of the Guru. That is Sanatan Dharma. Because if you are in peace with yourself, then you'll be in peace with other humans, with animals, and with all that exists in this universe. All of you understand? It is also the job of a guru. Well, there are two types of gurus. Two types of gurus. One type of guru, after enlightenment, will go and sit in seclusion. One type of guru, same enlightenment, will go and sit in seclusion. He'll want to experience the Supreme Lord in totality whilst on this planet Earth. Then there's another type of guru that want to share this experience with mankind. That type of guru who goes in seclusion, you find them in the Himalayas, in places where you won't think humans can exist. These gurus exist. You all have seen them. They are called yogis. All right. So there's hardly food, water, but you see them existing. So they don't want to get themselves dirty. They don't want to get themselves dirty. They had this blissful realization of the Supreme Lord, and they want to contain that realization. Is there anything wrong with them? No. Then there's gurus like myself, and the earliest example is 1000 years ago, when Lord Sri Ramanuj went for his initiation to his guru. It took 18 months. 18 attempts. It took 18 attempts over a long period of time. Every time he went, his guru said, come back. Every time he went, his guru said, come back. Every time he went, his guru said, come back. And when Lord Sri Ramanuj was given the mantra, Om Namo Narayana, he was warned that if he divulged this mantra to ordinary human beings, he will be sent to hell. He will be sent to hell. Lord Sri Ramanuj acknowledged the Guru's instructions, but he reached the first temple. And you know these temples in India, Gopuram, it's called, Gopurum, these tall towers. Have you noticed the towers? He climbed up the nearest tower right on the top, and he screamed out to all the residents to repeat the mantra, Om Namo Narayana. Then his guru called him back. His guru called him back and was very upset with him. And his response to his guru was that I, as a single entity, am prepared to go to hell if millions and millions can be liberated. Make sense? So I am a direct descendant of Lord Sri Ramanuj. Lord Sri Ramanuj was also the greatest social integrator of all times. Currently, his dream of social integration, interfaith, oneness is now being practiced at the Sri Narayan Dham and witnessed around the world. Yes or no? And I can say with absolute humility that today in my satsang, this is an interfaith satsang. I have all three denominations in my satsangs. Today, at this point in time, I have all three denominations. And I'm saying this with love, I'm saying it with absolute humility. That dream of Lord Sri Ramanuj is now being realized exclusively at the Sri Narayan Dham in Durban, South Africa. And if you look at our past 5 functions, all the functions were world firsts. World first. Currently, outside the domain of this satsang, I am in continuous conversation with every faith, every race, every type of humans that exist in South Africa. So we have proved our existence tangibly. I'm not a Facebook guru. I'm not a Instagram guru. I'm not a Twitter guru. I'm not a social media guru. I'm a practical guru who get tangible results. This broadcast, I got involved on Facebook because the demons were using Facebook. There was a whole lot of pornography on Facebook when I entered that domain. There was a whole lot of pornography on Google when I entered that domain. And when I entered that domain, it is on record in 2015 that I said my pursuance of live satsangs, at that point in time nobody was doing live satsangs. The Sri Narayan Dham was the first spiritual or religious entity to go on Facebook Live. We made a statement that this is the first live satsang at that point in time. Okay? So we trend-setted. But my main reason on going on social media, and I stated this then, is that if the demons can advertise on social media, why can't the divine? And that is the reason I am on social media. Today, go and find pornography on social media. There is no longer pornography on Facebook, pornography on Google, and pornography on any dimension. We trend-setted. And when I went in there and when I stated that, people thought it's an impossible task. But today, social media has no pornography. When I stated many years ago that I will bring all the religions together, all the races together, I was also told that it is impossible. And I have it in writing from my own Sri Sampradaya in India, that they said I'll never be able to bring the different religions together. It's on a WhatsApp. But what you noticing? That I brought all the different religions together, and it's not window dressing. These people that come here love coming here. And when I go to them, I love going to them. It's a relation of love. Then, all my preachings is within the parameters of the Vedas. Even when I take a hammer and conk you, it's within the parameters of the Vedas. All right? So, even when you get in conked, it is a Vedic injunction that you get in conked. Tivashne? Tiveshni is with me for many, many years. She came to this ashram as a baby. And I don't think anyone took more konkin than Tiveshni. But I'm going to make a revelation just now. And that revelation that I'm making against a particular person, that person should take his learnings from Tiveshni. No matter how hard I conquer skull, she'll still be, her relationship with the Guru will still be the same. Narayan Acharyaji, she'll still come and bow down when she's leaving after a terrible konkin. Blood is pouring, spurting out of her skull. No bandages. But she'll still have the ethics, morality and decorum of a disciple. She will come down, and she's only 18, bow down to the Guru, and in that same loving voice, bow down, say Jai Sriman Narayan and leave. No anger. She has never shown the Guru anger. I've stripped her of everything. Money, cell phone is everything for an 18-year-old girl. For many years now we have in this battle. 4 or 5 years we have in the same battle. But look at this child. She's 18 today. From 5 years, when she was 13, how mature she was in her thinking that I must, no matter what my Guru do to me, I must always maintain ethics and morality. And she's only 18. She got, yesterday 8 o'clock, she was given a phone back because she showed me a report. She passed. But I'm not interested in this report. Which report I'm interested in? The next one. So she had a 3-day pass with the phone. It started 8 o'clock yesterday. In the morning, she had it whole day. 8 o'clock, she had to give it back to her mother. Then she'll have it after satsang today, 8 o'clock tonight, she'll give it back to her mother. Then for Diwali, she'll have the phone. And 8 o'clock on Diwali day, her phone goes back. But look at her smile, look how much she loves the Guru. Because she is prepared to learn. Although she's making the same mistakes all the time, but she is a dignified human being. A dignified human being. In terms of the Guru-disciple relationship. Never debated me. I took away everything. Money and cell phone to an 18-year-old girl is everything. Her life revolves around that. I imprisoned her in a house. I sent her father to catch her in different places and shunt her back home. She is full of tricks and the Guru is full of tricks. She tries and we catch her. Tell me how many 18-year-olds will have that capacity to keep a pure Guru-disciple relationship on one side despite being punished on the other side. You understand? So the Guru takes his instructions from the Supreme Lord. Guru takes his instructions from the Supreme Lord and the Guru lives. Guru lives his life as instructed by the Supreme Lord. So when I started my institution here in Reservoir Hills, in a classroom with 15 people, I said, I don't want to be a classy satsang. I don't want only the rich and the opulent to come to me. I want to go into the trenches and save humanity. I want to risk going into the trenches and saving humanity. I don't want to sit on the seat and people come and rub my feet and put couple of 100 rand here. That is not being a guru to me, even if I can heal you and bless you. That is not being a guru to me. I want to go into the trenches. I want to get dirty. I want to fight in the trenches. I want to fight in the trenches because I am following the Supreme Lord. So the Supreme Lord, there's a story in the Vishnu Puran. Lord Shri Krishna was accused of killing somebody's brother and stealing a precious stone. Murder and robbery. Who's been accused? Supreme Lord. So you think the Lord said, leave it. I'm the Supreme Lord. I am so perfect that no accusation can touch me. Or you think the Supreme Lord went out and proved the accusations were wrong? What do you think he did? He went out. So he went out, he investigated, he fought for 20 days and nights with the real culprit. How long? 20 days and night continuously. And then he came back to the village. He called all the village people and he told them the truth of his investigation and how hard he had to fight and win. You think the Supreme Lord needs to fight for 20 days? You think the Supreme Lord even had to leave his place when the accusation took place? The reason he left is he's setting a trend, and this is what I am teaching you. If anyone accuses you falsely of anything, if the Lord went and remedied it, then it means you must go and remedy it. Don't sit in your house and say, no, don't worry, God will show him. God never show himself. You think he'll show him for you. Do you understand? If anybody accuses you of anything, and if that thing is not right, if that accusation is not right, then you must fix it up. And you must stand for your truth. Because in that very truth resides the Supreme Lord. Resides the Supreme Lord. So I'm going to get into a conversation that is directly not for discourse, but I've stated timelessly that I don't do anything under my carpet in the kutir. Not because the carpet is too small, but because of principles. Because of principles. So I'm going to run through a conversation. So it is evident, and I have 3 recordings, one hour, one 1.5 hour, and another recording, I think, an hour emitter. All right? And I'm discussing a personality that I embraced and I brought to the ashram. I asked Jessica to invite this personality. I see him in various places trying to make a difference. All right? I still maintain the reasons that I called him to come here. It does not mean when you break a relationship, then that person's prior personality changes. You understand? So I was on his show twice at the ashram. Well, he came twice physically to the ashram, and once I was broadcasted on his show from the ashram itself. And I'm talking about, and when you're doing this post, tag him. And also tag Musi Memani. So I want to set this story straight before it goes into the public in a perverted version. All right? So I invited Segrin Mudli, who also go under the name of Karou Charou. And he also goes under another name which we won't mention in this ashram. All right? He wears all these names on his clothing. So I invited him here with intentions of cultivating him from an activist, groom him into a leader, and ultimately insert him as a politician. What does activism mean? What do you know of activist? Activist in a legal parameter, or activist can be erratic. What do you know about activist? Who is an activist? Yes, so if something happens in society and a person is not happy what is happening in society, then he voices himself, he voices his opinions, and he tries to make a difference within the parameters of that context. Within that context, that's an activist. Then above an activist is a facilitator. So if there is a disturbance in society and an activist brings society's knowledge to that disturbance, then you need to synthesize that disturbance tangibly with the community, and that person would be a facilitator. Then the community, a tangible community, where this activism is taking place, will elect that facilitator as a community leader. When you become a community leader, there have to be a tangible, real, live community that you are leading. So if I say I'm a leader for the Indians, then it have to be tangible. It can't be perceived. Which is, how do you become a perceived leader? And how do you become a tangible leader? From the actions you perform, you must be able to go tangibly into the community, and the community must endorse you as a leader. You cannot endorse yourself as a community leader. The community must endorse you as the leader, right or wrong? If you continuously endorse yourself as a leader, but you do not have a tangible community following on the ground, but you have a huge social media following, are you a community leader? You're an activist simply raising community issues. Sometimes you facilitating, But where there is no conclusion, you can raise up the issues as an activist, but you must also take that issue to its conclusion. You must take that issue to its conclusion. You don't have to do it personally. So if you're an activist, you must work in conjunction with community leaders and facilitators. So you activate whatever is happening in that context. You take data. And you hand it to a person who can facilitate this data. So from there it moves to community leaders and it will move to the politician, because everything is political. Everything in society is political and has to be solved politically. Yes? Unless it's crime which will be solved through the judiciary. So I invited Segrin Mudli. I brought him here to the satsang and I told him that if he becomes a disciple, then I will make him into an astute politician. If he becomes a disciple, then I will make him into an astute politician. It's there on the 3 recordings that's going to go with this discourse. So in June when he first attended here, and even before his attendance with my first show with him, in May, I predicted and I said I will get involved with 4 personalities from the 4 races. Karou Charou from the Indians, Musi Memani from the black South Africans, what this guy's name is? From the, Ferriel Adams from the colored, and there was a white guy, I'm just forgetting his name, Neil De Beer. So I made this prediction even before Musi Memani had started a political organization. This was a prediction. At that point in time, there was no relationship between Karou Charou and Musi Memani. Absolutely no relationship when I predicted at the ashram that these are the people that the ashram is endorsing and we're going to pull them together. You understand? Then Karou Charou landed here on the 6th of June, I think, 6th of June, and there was a recording. Again, there on that recording, I made a prediction that we will connect. At this point in time, there was no relationship or interrelationship between anyone. Then subsequently, we had another show, I think in August, from here, and in between, not only to me, but also on his talk shows, and also Wood Bossa in Johannesburg, in Johannesburg, and there was another political party that we went and met prior to going to Musi's launching. Karou Charou always presented himself as a leader of the South African Indians on his own show by himself. All right? And I'm sure, and on my recording as well. So he proclaimed himself as a leader of the Indian community. So him and I have been in conversation because I am now his political mentor. So he would phone me and tell me that somebody from the ANC has contacted him, can he take his following to the ANC? And I said no. Then he said, can he take his following to the DA? And I said no. Then I advised him he had no intention, okay, even before there. So remember, I made these predictions first. So he calls me and he tells me that he has been contacted by Robert Hertzhoff. You all heard of Robert Hertzhoff? He's a billionaire, he's a businessman billionaire, and he is funding anyone who wants to remove the ANC from government. Rob Hertzhoff, all right? So Karou Charou contacted me on a particular Friday. Everything is on record, it's on WhatsApp. And he informed me that in a conversation with Rob Hertzhoff, he informed Rob that he has a guru. And Rob wanted my details from Karou Charou, and Karou Charou phoned me and asked me permission to give my details to Rob. And I gave my details to Rob. And I want you to understand this in this context, all right? If a billionaire contacts you and a billionaire tells you how great you are, and a multi-billionaire wants to meet you, is there any reason you must put your guru there? If you put your guru into this conversation, what it means, and why did you put your guru there? Logic now, why would you put your guru when you're having a conversation with a multi-billionaire? Why would you want your guru to be involved in that conversation and that personality? Wasn't why you want to? Why would you want your guru involved? If you talking to a multi-billionaire, why would you want your guru involved? To cement your own personality? Does the guru cement your personality? If you tell somebody, I have a guru. When you tell somebody, I have a guru, what it does to your stature? Does it cement and enhance your stature? Cement and enhance your stature as being a moral and an ethical and a righteous person? This is why you would say, I got a guru? Yes. This is why you would say, I got a guru. So if you are in discussion with a multi-billionaire and you inform him that you have a guru, and then that person wants your guru's details, who gets enhanced, the guru or you? Who's crutching on who? Is the guru holding your shoulders to walk, or are you using the guru's shoulders to walk? You understand? So I had, beside Rob Hertzhoff, I had about 20 other calls from various people. Wherever Karou Charou was, he'll be with those people. He'll phone me any given time, no appointments, just phone, and he'll tell me, listen, I'm at this place with this person, please speak to them. So he was, why would someone do that? Because that was not my instructions to him. Why would someone, as you walk in along this line, to give himself credibility in what he was doing? So he even took the guru's details and he gave it to somebody in Joburg so that he could open an NPO. And he wanted me there so that when people saw that a guru is a director in this NPO, what it will do to that NPO when you donate in your money. So that NPO will become trusted because there's a guru who is a director, Guru who is a director. Alright? So when I spoke to Rob Hersoff, the first thing Rob told me that he wants Musi Maimani to be president. And that touched a chord with me because I've been saying this all along. So I told him that I've been trying to get hold of Musi, but I could not get his direct details, and Rob Hersoff sent me Musi's phone number and his email details. So subsequent to that, Karou Charou went to Cape Town and he met all these people. Subsequent to all of this, and I told him when he's there, when he told me he's going to meet Musi. So even from Cape Town, he was in constant contact with me. And when he told me he's going to meet Musi, I said, when you're talking to him, just give me a call. I just want to say hi. Is it a respectable thing to do, normal thing to do? So Musi called me and I introduced myself to Musi, and Musi promised to call me the next day. I told him to take my number from Karou Charou. And Musi did contact me the following day, and he did promise me to come to Durban. He's supposed to come twice, however his schedule was very, very busy. Then we heard that there is a launch. I saw through social media that Musi is launching his party. So on that Tuesday at around 8:30, I called Karou Charou and I told him, phone Musi and see if we can attend that launch. So Karou Charou phoned Musi. He saw that we could attend that launch, but he did not inform me. He bought a ticket for himself. So then I prompted this telephonic conversation. Had I not done this, he would have not attended the launch at all. Entire 100% of this prompting came from myself. So when I called him the next morning, then he told me he already booked his ticket the previous night. So I didn't say anything, it didn't mean anything to me. Remember, I'm a guru, I'm seen from the top. Karma, reincarnation, 3 gunas. Where I'm looking from? Karma, reincarnation, 3 gunas. You understand? So I asked Vishwadhar to book my ticket, and between Vishwadhar and Karou Charou, we got a seat together and we went to the launch. We met Musi Maimani 9 o'clock the next morning. Friday morning we met him, and when he met him, I'm not for romance. Mataji will tell you. I'm not for romance, holding hand, birthday card, Valentine card, all that. I'm not. If we married, you the wife, I'm the husband, and that's it. Wasn't? You don't do that. It's just a guru, how the guru is made up. So any conversation I had with any one of you, it was always direct and value-based. Yes or no? Yes. Yeah, I don't go around there. Even if I phone you, I don't want to ask you how's the weather, how you feeling, what you ate last night. I'm wasting airtime. You understand? If I phone you, how you feeling, everything sorted, all right, you come in satsang, okay, you don't come satsang, this will happen. Finish. Bye-bye. Bye. That's me. So when I spoke to Musi Maimani, no long flowery discussions, how great I am, nothing. I just told him, number one, I am only here because of social cohesion, interfaith cohesion and oneness. Based on that, I will get you 1 million votes in KwaZulu-Natal. Anything else to talk? You understand? And I also told him I predicted he will be a future president of South Africa many years ago, even before he was the DA leader. All right? So I predicted that. I wasn't a guru then. That prediction came with my experience in politics and how you view characters. All right? That prediction came from there. So Casey was not too happy. He said I gave too much too quickly. I said, no, I didn't give anything too much or too quickly. That is my contract with Bosa. You go make your own contract and relationship with Bosa. So at 1 o'clock there was another meeting. But Musi did not attend this meeting. He sent Slumelo Biko. He gave him mandate to. So at this meeting, Casey informed them that he is a well-known community leader, specifically on the Indian side. I'm saying this in a nutshell. And he is not employed, and whatever he does it 100%. He's meticulous in whatever he do, and based on that, he wanted Bosa to pay him an X amount of money. Meeting number 1. So Bosa said they'll get back to him. A memorandum of understanding will be signed, and they also told him that he will co-lead Bosa provincially. He'll be the co-leader of Bosa provincially. So on our way the next day, after the launch, the next day I was with Vishwadhar, and I informed Casey that I'm going to start working immediately. And he was not happy with me working immediately because he wanted his contract signed. But remember, there's two deals here. Remember, I predicted Musi Maimani on my own. And the deal with me and Musi Maimani is my own. It does not matter how it transpired with him, how we met up, how we flew, all that has no constraints on me to be obligated to him. This was my prediction. I prompted him to phone Musi Maimani for the launch. Although he booked his ticket without consulting with me, I didn't hold it against him. I still booked my own ticket and I went. And on that day, I informed Musi Maimani myself. I have a SMS that I'm coming to your launch. You understand? So my dealings with Musi Maimani is individual. It's ashram based. It is social cohesion. It is interfaith and oneness. His deal with Musi Maimani and Bosa is different. He is a legal, or he was supposed to be a legal entity within the domains of Bosa and himself. They are two different. We're supposed to put all of this together, and the benefit was supposed to go to Bosa. All right? Okay, so when I came back, I started working and I informed him. In writing, I informed him that I have met a cross-section of people, citizens from South Africa. I will give you a detailed report. So he sends me a message, great, now rake up 5 Ks for me this month and 10 Ks for me from next month. What is that? You're a provincial leader, you went to the Guru. He was settling to be a leader of 4 wards here in Phoenix with Nixa. I took him out of that and I took him to Bosa, where he's going to be sitting on national and provincial and he asks me, 5,000 a month this month and 10,000 rand a month next month. For what? Firstly, for what? Where's his following? You understand what tangible difference can he make? He already demanded 40,000 a month from Bossa. You understand? He needs 40,000 a month to live. All right? So what you think the Guru must do? If you are in the Guru's place, what would you do as the Guru? You'll chase him out. Boot him out. Okay? Imagine you are a provincial leader of the organization. The Guru is doing your dirty work. The Guru sends you a report. This is the dirty work I did for you. What was supposed to be your response and reaction?
You should have sent him an invoice.
Well, I can hear a lot of laughter on the background because he ended up by saying, I only have one disciple, and that is Vishwadhar. So we'll run this later, or you can watch our Aarti, all right? He said, I only have one disciple, and that is Vishwadhar, all right? So when he sent me, he just told me, great, I need 5K this month and 10K from next month. Then I phoned him. No, I think I phoned him before I sent him this information. So when we got back, then I phoned him. No, I asked him for Shlumelo Biko's number. So he forwarded me Shlumelo Biko's number, who's the chief executive of Bossa. I contacted Shlumelo myself, and he said that all recruiting must be done through his office. All recruiting must be done through his office. Is that protocol? Is that protocol? Yes, because Casey has not been authenticated yet into this organization, and organizations don't give their provincial leaders or executives, especially in a new formation, when you recruit people, it is sensitive. So imagine if the mayor of eThekwini wants to now join Bossa. Is it sensitive or not? Can I now go through Casey to bring the member into Bossa? So this is why I need a national handler, so that I can take all types of people that's coming into Bossa and direct them straight to the national handler. You understand? Is this protocol? Does it make sense? So he was very upset with this. I informed him that this is a protocol, and he sent me a voice note stating. So in that conversation, I said, see, you do not understand politics. You know nothing about politics. I'm grooming you into politics. I am your mentor. But if you do not understand from me, then Jessica, contact Jessica. Jessica will explain everything to you. Is this normal? Is this decent? Is it righteous? Is it Guru-like? All right? So he sends me a voice note, and he tells me on the voice note that I must change the normal because he don't believe a lot in the normal. And for his sake, I must change the normal, the norms, the protocols of society. I must change societal protocol to suit him. Now what is this telling you about him? Because this voice note is evidence. I'm going to send it with this discourse. And it tells me this twice, that I have to change the norms to suit him. He wants a contract drawn up between myself, him and Jessica that everything that I do, he must be informed. You all are laughing. Laugh, let him hear. Not even the state president of a country, not even a state president of South Africa can make a demand to his ministers. What type of person will want everything run through him? Autocratic. Where the guru-disciple, what happens to the guru-disciple relationship when somebody asks the guru now? Imagine telling the guru, you have to go through me. And you have to bend your rules, you have to bend society's rules because I do it that way. What would you do if you were in my position? Ravi? What would you do if you were in my position?
Tell him that the tail does not wag the dog.
The tail does not wag the dog. I told him. All right? Okay, I want to bring this to a conclusion because it needed to come out, because all this happened publicly. It happened at the ashram. It's a story of the ashram. It's the ashram's truth. It's the guru's truth. All right? So he opened, so I stopped communicating with him in terms of my own guru principle. And I also do this to my own children. When my children abuse me, I stop my conversation with them. I remove them from the ashram. My big son was a trustee of this organization. When he did not respect me, I removed him as a trustee of this organization. Dana took the papers and made him sign it. You remember Dana? So this is a guru principle, and you think I have a right to adhere to my guru principle? If somebody does not want to listen anymore, and especially you want to change the guru's entire principle and everything I stood for in this 60 years of mine, then don't you think I have a right not to communicate with you? I have a right? So then he opens a group, Casey and the Guru, and he puts Jessica in that group and Vishwadhar. And he's on that group, he writes there breakdown of relationship between Guru and Casey, and he gives a reason which I don't want to read. So that was a false reason, and I asked Vishwadhar to respond. Remember, there's a difference between reacting and responding. When you react, you can react in madness. When you respond in dignity. So we responded in dignity, and the reasons that I gave you, we gave that reasons in the response. He opened that WhatsApp group. He demanded an explanation, and we gave him a dignified explanation. And you know how he responds? Instead of responding in context, his next line is, "You're a fraud." I'm explaining why this relationship broke. That's what he wanted. Instead of countering that explanation, he writes there, "You're a fraud, you're a failed politician for 30 years. And I have a CV, I have a network of people right now vibrating in South Africa from all over who's contacting me for the next move." Is that a position or status of a failed politician? All these events we had at the ashram, how many politicians came to this ashram? You understand? So he says failed politician, fraud, and then he also writes that he was always ahead of this, and I'm going to spell it to you because I can't utter it. It's absolutely obscene. ChoothiA. He said, I'm always one step ahead of this. ChoothiA. All right? Translated to English, it's the P word, isn't it? Translated, it's a Hindi word. Translated to English, it would be the P word. And then he said, Guru, grow a pair of, and he put ... if you want to face me. Can this man be a community leader? Can this man be a provincial leader? Can this man be a leader of his own household? His own household. Because look at this language. And to a guru, I did not intimidate him. I did not do anything to him. All I did was I went silent. If he can go ballistic over someone that just went silent, what you think he will do when people confront him? I just went silent. Being a Hindu and coming from a Hindu background, and if a Hindu spoke to his own guru, same guru where he made everyone fawn and uplift him, same guru who uplifted him, if he could use these words without any provocation, that what Vishwadhar responded to, there was no provocation. It just set the facts in it set the evidence in its perspective. Because he could not handle the absolute truth. So from the two types of people which I introduced, I said there are divine people and demonic people. When a divine person responds, how will a divine person respond? Ethics, morality, dignity, cleanliness. When a demon responds, how will a demon respond? Obscenely, with no dignity, because if you are a Hindu, and if you could use that words with the international guru, you call an international guru fraud. Who here in the satsang can tell me I'm a fraud? The only entity that can tell me I'm a fraud is the Sri Sampradaya. Because I am affiliated to an institution which is the Sri Sampradaya. And I'm on Facebook Live. And we in interaction all the time. I was endorsed by the highest Guru in the Sri Sampradaya in 2018. The highest ranking Guru in the Sri Sampradaya was endorsed in his ashram in 2018. You understand? So what type of a person will call a Guru a fraud? So there is also a Vedic injunction that disciples, because the Guru is absolutely transparent, the disciples or aspirants see their own reflection in the Guru and describe the Guru as such. It is a Vedic injunction. So Vishwadhar asked him, that if you have your own following by the tens of thousands, then why are you upset about a small gathering that we have on the 29th? He's upset about that. Our next week's function, he is upset. I'm a small guru. I only found maybe about 50 or 60 eminent people. I'm a small guru. You're a great leader of the Indians. He could have found about 5,000 eminent Indians. We are 1 point something million. He could have found just 5,000. And he could have introduced them to Bosa, because he has stated that he is a leader in the Indian community. So we don't even have to bring bus loads. He could have found 5,000 eminent persons. Yes or no? So this is what is troubling him. And I'm prepared to go to any lengths to keep the evidence in line. Today is Sunday. This is when I legally come on board. You understand? I don't do separate recordings. So I'm here on the Sunday. I made this recording. I have no enmity against Casey. I have no enmity. All his values that I brought him to the ashram, hard-working, community activist, all that is still retained. My problem is how he addressed me and how he addressed this issue. You understand? So he said there is a dedicated group of haters and I must join them. So my principle, I'm a guru, I'm seen from the top. You understand? Principally, the enemy of an enemy does not become a friend. Principally, the enemy of an enemy does not become a friend. So I made this public because he was introduced here publicly, and everything we did in public. The launch was public, and if we terminating our relationship, it should also be done publicly. Are there any questions? Any one of you want to question me? So there is also a Vedic injunction in the Guru Gita that if somebody talks ill about your guru, you must open that person's mouth, pull out his tongue and cut it. It is a Vedic injunction. But if you are not such a violent person, if he is in your premises, ask him to leave. And if you are in his premises, you must leave. You understand? So guru-disciple relationship, very, very disciplined. Sometimes when the guru for your benefit becomes a doormat, don't take it for stupidity. Because when the doormat is pulled from under you, and the guru can do it quite forcefully, you're going to fall flat on your back. You're going to fall flat on your back. And sometimes replacing your guru with an association, a perceived association with a multi-billionaire, and you replace your guru, that relationship will be short-lived. Because when the guru, who you are standing on as a doormat, comes out in a hurry, then you're definitely going to fall. Jai Shriman Narayan.